As a busy homeschooling mom, one of the ways that I set myself up for success is by getting up early in the morning before anyone else is awake to just have some quiet time and to prepare myself mentally for the day ahead. I like to start my morning by making a dandy blend latte and putting some wood in the stove to take the chill and the dampness out of the air. This is my favorite time of the day when everybody is still sleeping and I can just sit in the quiet and read God's Word. I like to do this early in the morning while my thoughts are still quiet, before I have to start thinking about what to make for dinner, what to make for breakfast, and what we're doing for homeschool that day. Sometimes the kiddos will wake up earlier and then they join me for my quiet time, and then I just do a read aloud and read to them as well. Usually Jacob wakes up soon after I do because he hears me moving around out in the kitchen. And then once Susanna hears Jacob talking and laughing and playing, then that will wake her up and she'll come out and join us. Good morning, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share our morning routine with you guys. It is currently 7 o'clock, so I'm going to get started making some breakfast. We are just going to do oatmeal this morning because we are out of bread, and then after we are done with breakfast, I want to get started making some sourdough bread and cinnamon rolls.
Mommy, tell me it's hot.
Oh.
Because there's a dish above it. And plus 4 equals.
How hungry are you? 2 scoops hungry or 3 scoops hungry?
4.
4? Susanna ran outside to pick some flowers, and then I think she got distracted, and now she's out there playing. For the sourdough bread I'm making, I'm doing half a cup of oil, and then half a cup of honey. I'm just using my recipe for sandwich bread, and then I'm doubling it so that I can make cinnamon rolls and a loaf of bread. Then I need 2 eggs. Then I'm going to add 3 teaspoons of salt. I'm going to whisk this together before I add my flour and my starter. For my flour, I'm going to use a combination of hard white and hard red wheat. And I need 920 grams. My flour was in the freezer, so it's cold. So I'm going to add some hot water to help warm this up so that it won't take so long to ferment. I need 370 grams, but I'm doing a double batch, so 740. That wasn't quite enough, so I need a little bit more. Alright, let's give it a mix. So because I put the hot water in, I'm going to check the temperature of the dough before I put my starter in. That way I'm sure that it's not too hot, so that it doesn't kill my starter. So it's just nice and warm. I'm going to go ahead and add my starter. I fed my starter last night. It was on the counter overnight, so it is very bubbly and active. So I need 130 grams. I'm going to get a clean spoon for this. Well, that was a little bit more than 130, but I'm not going to worry about it. I also got a little bit too much water in the dough, so it's a lot stickier than it should be. I might have to add more flour. We'll see here in a minute. I am going to add more flour. Thank you. I used all my hard red and white, so I'm just going to use soft wheat. Thank you. Well, okay, that was way too much. You want it back? Here you go. I'm going to scoop some of this out because that was way too much flour. Alright, let's try that. Alright, this dough is still very sticky, but I'm just going to leave it because fresh milled flour does absorb a lot more moisture than regular flour would. So I'm going to cover it up with plastic wrap and just set it on my counter for about 45 minutes, and then I'll come back and do the first set of stretcher folds. So I still have about a cup of starter left, and I'm going to put it right back in the fridge. And then if I need to make something this week, I'll just use it straight from the fridge without feeding it again. Usually if it sits in my fridge for a week or more, I like to feed it before I use it. Otherwise, I just use it right from the jar. I like to get homeschool started soon after breakfast before Jacob takes his first nap. Sometimes we don't get to it, and then I end up having to put Jacob down for a nap, and then we just do homeschool later in the day, maybe in the afternoon. But it always goes better if we get to it first thing in the morning. We are using the Good and the Beautiful curriculum, and so far we are loving it. Susanna will always get her homework out and sit at the table and wait for me to finish making breakfast so that we can start homeschool. She really looks forward to it, and she enjoys all the lessons that are in this book.
This is not easy to see. Do I have to color the whole thing?
Just the tens column.
All of the tens columns?
Yep.
Okay. 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89.
Okay, keep going all the way to 100.
What's this?
90.
90.
Sheep searches. The shepherds are looking for their lost sheep. Complete the mazes, helping each shepherd find the lost sheep.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Then it has been about 40 minutes, so I'm going to do my first set of stretcher folds. I like to wet my hand a little bit because this dough is very sticky. Okay, it is almost 9 o'clock and we are done doing homeschool for the day. We usually just do a little bit until Susanna feels like she's done. I don't try to push her and make her do a certain amount because she's still just in kindergarten and we don't have to officially start homeschooling until this fall. So we just kind of do it for fun and quit whenever Susanna feels like she's done for the day. So I think I'm going to go put Jacob down for a nap because he is getting a little bit cranky, and then after he's down for a nap, I'm going to finish cleaning up my kitchen and wash all my dishes and get to the laundry. I always wash my cast iron in my dishwater, and then I like to take a little bit of oil and put it in the bottom. Usually I use lard because that's what I have on my counter, but I have also used tallow or olive oil in the past. So I just put the oil in here, and then I like to wipe it out so that it's not too much. I'll use some on this one.
Yeah, then cutting.
And then because we have a propane oven, it leaves marks on the bottom, so I also put some on the bottom just to kind of preserve that so it doesn't get rusty. Okay, now that we're done, you can see that it's nice and shiny, and whenever I use this to make something, the food won't stick to it. So in between stretch and folds, I'm going to work on stuffing the diapers. I had to wash some last night because they were all dirty. So today we have just been using Pampers until I can get these stuffed and put away.
Right there, then I'm going to cut part of
you're funny. Alright, it is 10:30 and the kids are starting to get hungry, so I'm going to slice up an orange for a snack so that we can make it until lunchtime. You sit there.
I need a knife to cut that.
What are you cutting?
Fabric. I don't think a knife.
Don't play with that. Okay, that's our bread dough. Okay, you want to have one?
Cut it this right side.
I have a little bit of free time, so I'm going to go ahead and mix the filling for the cinnamon rolls. And then I'm also going to do a frosting for the top. I don't have cream cheese, so I'm just going to use butter and some powdered sugar. For the filling, I need 1/2 cup of sugar and 1/4 cup of butter. And then I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. It has been about 3.5 to 4 hours since I started this dough. So I'm going to go ahead and do one last stretch and fold and then let it do its first proof for about 4 to 6 hours. So you can see it is not sticky anymore. It is nice and stretchy. Alright, I'm just going to put this here and forget about it for a couple of hours. And then whenever I have time this afternoon, I'll come back and see what it's looking like before I get it shaped and put in pans. It is 11:30. I'm going to make some lunch for us. This is leftovers from yesterday. My husband made a breakfast scramble for our breakfast. I'm just going to reheat this, and this is going to be our lunch for today. After I get this little guy fed, I'm going to try to put him down for a nap again to see if he will sleep longer this time. I chopped up a Hershey bar and added it to the cinnamon and sugar layer of the cinnamon rolls, and then I rolled it up and baked them for about 35 to 45 minutes until the tops were golden brown. And then I made a frosting with butter, powdered sugar, vanilla, a little bit of salt, and some milk and cocoa powder. I didn't use a recipe for the frosting. I just kind of added a little bit of everything until it tasted like I wanted it to. I like to warm up these cinnamon rolls so that the chocolate is melted and the cinnamon rolls are nice and soft. If you are a fan of sourdough or are interested in getting started with sourdough, then watch this next video where I share with you how I use my sourdough starter in a full week of baking and cooking for my family of 4.